In astronomy, a spectroheliograph is an instrument used for photographing or recording the image of what? The Sun. A spectroheliograph is a specialized astronomical instrument designed to photograph the Sun in monochromatic light. It allows astronomers to observe specific layers of the Sun's atmosphere, such as the chromosphere, by isolating particular wavelengths of light emitted by elements like hydrogen or calcium. What color is the tree trunk on the UK Conservative Party logo? Blue. The UK Conservative Party's logo features an oak tree, a symbol often associated with strength, longevity, and stability. While the leaves are typically green, the trunk and overall branding frequently incorporate the party's characteristic blue color, which is central to its political identity. Which revolutionary was captured and executed by the Bolivian army in 1967? Ernesto Che Guevara. Ernesto Che Guevara was a prominent Argentine Marxist revolutionary, physician, and guerrilla leader. A major figure in the Cuban Revolution, he was captured and executed in Bolivia in 1967 while attempting to spark a wider continental revolution. The Dragon Boat Festival is typically held in Taiwan during which month of the year? May. The Dragon Boat Festival, also known as Duawu Festival, is a traditional holiday originating in China and observed in many East Asian countries. It falls on the 5th day of the 5th month of the traditional Chinese lunisolar calendar, which usually corresponds to June, but sometimes late May, depending on the year. Which Roman numerals depict the year 1980? MCMLXXX. Roman numerals are a numbering system used in ancient Rome. The numeral M represents 1000, CM represents 900, 1000 to 100, L represents 50, and XXX represents 30, combining to form MCMLXXX for the year 1980. Polish-born Wisława Szymborska won the 1996 Nobel Prize in which field? Literature. Wisława Szymborska was a Polish poet, essayist, and translator. She was awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1996 for her poetry that explored complex philosophical themes with precise language and lyrical depth, often through everyday observations. Which Asian country is the world's largest exporter of black pepper? Vietnam. Vietnam consistently ranks as the world's leading exporter of black pepper, holding a dominant position in the global spice market. Its favorable tropical climate and extensive agricultural practices contribute significantly to its high production volume. John Hosking was the first mayor of which Australian city? Sydney. John Hosking served as the first mayor of Sydney, Australia, from 1842 to 1843. His election marked a pivotal moment in the city's civic administration and its growth into a significant urban centre. In the human body, the buccal cavity is commonly known as what? The mouth. The buccal cavity, also referred to as the oral cavity or simply the mouth, is the opening through which food is ingested and sound is produced. It represents the initial segment of the alimentary canal, where mastication and the preliminary stages of digestion occur. The Khamaseen, or Chamsing, is what type of weather condition? Wind. The Khamaseen, also Khamsing, is a dry, hot, and sandy local wind that typically blows across North Africa and the Arabian Peninsula during the spring season. These winds originate from the south, carrying substantial amounts of dust and sand, which can severely reduce visibility and impact air quality. If something is harangiform, it is shaped like what type of fish? Herring. Harangiform refers to the body shape characteristic of herring, a type of fish. This term describes animals with a fusiform or torpedo-shaped body, which is optimized for fast swimming in open water. Bund's cheese comes from which country? Poland. Bunds is a traditional Polish sheep's milk cheese, originating from the mountainous regions of Poland. It is a fresh, soft cheese typically consumed shortly after production. The main entrance of which London museum is situated on Great Russell Street? British Museum. The British Museum, located in the Bloomsbury area of London, is a world-renowned museum dedicated to human history, art, and culture. Its iconic main entrance on Great Russell Street welcomes millions of visitors annually to explore its vast collection, including the Rosetta Stone and the Elgin marbles. Which sculpture by Auguste Rodin was originally named The Poet? The Thinker. Auguste Rodin's iconic sculpture, The Thinker, was originally conceived as part of his monumental Gates of Hell project. It was initially named The Poet and depicted Dante Alighieri contemplating the human condition. How many nuclear weapons have been used in the course of warfare? 2. Only 2 nuclear weapons have been used in the course of warfare, both by the United States against Japan during World War II. The first, Little Boy, was dropped on Hiroshima on August 6, 1945, followed by Fat Man on Nagasaki on August 9, 1945, leading to Japan's surrender. Coney Island is situated in which borough of New York City? Brooklyn. Coney Island is a renowned peninsula in the southwestern part of Brooklyn, New York City, famous for its amusement parks, beach, and boardwalk. It has historically been a major entertainment destination. In humans, edentulism is the complete loss of what? Teeth. Edentulism refers to the condition of lacking teeth, which can be partial or complete. It often results from dental disease, trauma, or congenital conditions, significantly impacting an individual's oral health and quality of life. Late businessman and British politician Jan Ludwig Hawke was better known by what name? Robert Maxwell. Robert Maxwell, originally Jan Ludwig Hawke, was a notable British media proprietor and politician. His career ended controversially with his death at sea and the subsequent revelation of significant financial fraud within his corporate empire. Madaraka Day is celebrated in June to commemorate the attainment of self-rule of which African country in 1963? Kenya. Madaraka Day, celebrated on June 1, commemorates Kenya's achievement of self-rule from British colonial rule in 1963. This pivotal date paved the way for Kenya's full independence later that year, marking a significant milestone in its history. Who set a new land speed record in October 1983, driving Thrust 2 at the Black Rock Desert in Nevada, USA? Richard Noble. Richard Noble, a British entrepreneur, achieved a new land speed record of 633.468 miles per hour, 1019.468 kilometers per hour, in 1983 with the jet-powered vehicle Thrust 2. He subsequently managed the Thrust SSC project, which saw Andy Green exceed the sound barrier in 1997. The comet Shoemaker-Levy 9 broke apart and collided with which planet in our solar system in July 1994? Jupiter. Comet Shoemaker-Levy 9 was a fragmented comet that spectacularly collided with Jupiter in July 1994. This unprecedented event offered astronomers a unique opportunity to directly observe a major celestial impact and study its profound effects on a gas giant's atmosphere. The sucre was the currency of which South American country between 1884 and 2000? Ecuador. The sucre served as the official currency of Ecuador from 1884 until its replacement by the US dollar in 2000. Named after independence hero Antonio José de Sucre, its abandonment followed a severe economic crisis in the late 1990s. Which palace was given to English monarch King Henry VIII after Cardinal Thomas Wolsey fell out of favor? Hampton Court Palace. Hampton Court Palace, originally built for Cardinal Thomas Wolsey, became a royal residence for King Henry VIII in 1529 after Wolsey lost the king's favour. This historic palace is a significant example of Tudor architecture and a symbol of English royal power. What was the name of the last battleship built for the British Royal Navy, which famously ran aground in Portsmouth Harbour? HMS Vanguard. HMS Vanguard was the last battleship constructed for the Royal Navy, launched in 1944 during World War II. Known for its powerful armament and speed, it was involved in various post-war duties before being decommissioned and eventually scrapped. In which book of the Bible is the destruction of the city of Sodom recounted? Genesis. The story of the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah is found in the book of Genesis, chapters 18 and 19. It describes God's judgment on these cities for their wickedness and the escape of Lot and his family. Which legendary English outlaw is famously known for stealing from the rich to give to the poor? Robin Hood. Robin Hood is a legendary heroic outlaw in English folklore, traditionally depicted as a highly skilled archer and swordsman. He is said to have robbed from the wealthy and given to the poor, usually with his band of merry men, in Sherwood Forest. Who was revealed in July 2013 to be the secret author writing under the pseudonym Robert Galbraith? J.K. Rowling. In July 2013, it was revealed that J.K. Rowling, the acclaimed author of the Harry Potter series, had been secretly writing crime novels under the pseudonym Robert Galbraith. This disclosure generated significant public interest and boosted sales for her Cormoran Strike detective series. How many apostles are there in the painting, The Last Supper, by Leonardo da Vinci? 12. The Last Supper is a renowned mural painting by Leonardo da Vinci, depicting the final meal of Jesus with his 12 apostles before his crucifixion. Housed in the refectory of the Santa Maria del Grazie convent in Milan, Italy, it is celebrated for its dramatic composition and emotional depth, making it a pivotal work of the High Renaissance. What is the capital of Canada? Ottawa. Ottawa is the capital city of Canada, located in the eastern part of southern Ontario at the confluence of the Ottawa, Gatineau, and Rideau rivers. It is the fourth largest city in Canada and serves as a major political and administrative hub, embodying the nation's governance. The element hydrogen has which number on the periodic table? 1. Hydrogen is the chemical element with the symbol H and atomic number 1. It is the lightest and most abundant chemical element in the universe, playing a fundamental role in stars, water, and various organic compounds. Its atomic number signifies the presence of a single proton in its nucleus. Which famous artist spent 4 years painting the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel in Rome? Michelangelo. Michelangelo di Lodovico Bernardi Simoni, commonly known as Michelangelo, was an Italian sculptor, painter, architect, and poet of the High Renaissance. He famously painted the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel between 1508 and 1512, depicting iconic scenes from the Book of Genesis, most notably, the creation of Adam. This monumental artwork is considered a masterpiece of Western art and a cornerstone of the Renaissance. How many time zones does Russia have? 9. Russia, the world's largest country by land area, spans a vast geographical expanse across Eastern Europe and Northern Asia. This extensive longitudinal reach historically necessitated a significant number of time zones to standardize local time across its diverse regions for administrative and logistical efficiency, as reflected in the provided answer of 9. Catherine of Braganza, wife of English monarch Charles II, was said to have introduced which cutlery item to the dining tables of England? Fork. Catherine of Braganza, queen consort to Charles II, is often credited with popularizing the use of forks in England during the 17th century. Originating from Italy, forks were already known in some European courts but were not widely adopted in England until her influence, initially seen as an affectation. In April 1980, the St. Paul's riot broke out in which English city? Bristol. The St. Paul's riot, which occurred in April 1980, was one of the first major urban race riots in mainland Britain in the 20th century. It took place in the St. Paul's area of Bristol and stemmed from long-standing tensions between the police and the local Afro-Caribbean community. Which newspaper has won the most Pulitzer Prizes for journalism? The New York Times. The Pulitzer Prizes are annual awards for excellence in journalism and the arts in the United States. The New York Times has won more Pulitzer Prizes than any other news organization, reflecting its long-standing influence and journalistic contributions. Who became British Prime Minister in October 1951? Winston Churchill. Winston Churchill began his second term as British Prime Minister in October 1951, leading the Conservative Party to victory. This period followed his monumental leadership during World War II and preceded his eventual resignation due to ill health in 1955. In which country is Lake Ladoga? Russia. Lake Ladoga is the largest lake in Europe, located in northwestern Russia, near the city of St. Petersburg. It plays a significant role historically and ecologically, forming part of the Baltic Sea basin. Haphephobia is the irrational fear of having what done to you? Touching. Haphephobia is a specific phobia characterized by an intense and irrational fear of being touched. Like other phobias, it can significantly impact a person's life, often leading to avoidance behaviors and anxiety in social situations. Launched from Cape Kennedy in March 1972, what was the name of the first man-made satellite to leave the solar system? Pioneer 10. Pioneer 10, launched in 1972, was the first spacecraft to travel through the asteroid belt and make direct observations of Jupiter. It became the first man-made object to achieve escape velocity from the solar system in 1983, eventually heading into interstellar space. Ophthalmitis is the inflammation of which part of the body? Eye. Ophthalmitis is a medical term referring to the inflammation of the eye. This condition can affect various parts of the ocular structure, such as the cornea, conjunctiva, or retina, and can result from infection, trauma, or autoimmune processes. U.S. outlaws Robert Leroy Parker and Harry Longabaugh were better known by what names? Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid were notorious American outlaws and leaders of the Wild Bunch gang in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. Their exploits included train and bank robberies across the American West, making them infamous figures in American history. Online social networking website Facebook was founded in 2004 in which U.S. state? Massachusetts. Facebook was founded by Mark Zuckerberg and his Harvard University roommates in 2004. It originated in Cambridge, Massachusetts, before rapidly expanding globally to become one of the world's largest social media platforms. What is the name of the floating mass of vegetation that often obstructs navigation in tropical rivers? Sud. The Sud is a vast wetland and floodplain formed by the White Nile in South Sudan. It is characterized by dense floating vegetation, which can severely impede river navigation and contribute to a unique ecosystem. Which planet is closest to Earth? Venus. While Mercury is the closest planet to the Sun, Venus is the closest planetary neighbor to Earth for much of its orbit. It is often referred to as Earth's sister planet, due to similarities in size and mass. In November 1983, £26 million worth of gold, diamonds and cash was stolen from the Brink's-Mat warehouse at which British airport? Heathrow Airport. The Brink's-Mat robbery, which occurred at Heathrow Airport in 1983, was one of the largest gold robberies in British history. Over £26 million worth of gold bullion, diamonds, and cash was stolen, leading to a complex and long-running investigation. In botany, the calyx forms which part of a plant? Flower. The calyx is the outermost whorl of sepals in a flower, typically green and leaf-like. Its primary function is to protect the developing bud before it blossoms. Painter and engraver Sir Edwin Henry Landseer was a favourite artist of which British monarch? Queen Victoria. Sir Edwin Henry Landseer, 1802–1873, was a renowned British painter, particularly famous for his animal paintings, including the lions at the base of Nelson's Column in Trafalgar Square. He was a favoured artist of Queen Victoria, who commissioned numerous portraits of her pets and family. Hester Prynne is the main character in which novel by U.S. author Nathaniel Hawthorne? The Scarlet Letter. The Scarlet Letter, a romance, is a historical novel by American author Nathaniel Hawthorne, published in 1850. Set in 17th-century Puritan Massachusetts Bay Colony, the novel explores themes of sin, guilt, and hypocrisy through the story of Hester Prynne, who conceives a child through adultery and struggles to create a new life of repentance and dignity. James Monroe became president of which country in March 1817? USA. James Monroe served as the fifth President of the United States from 1817 to 1825. His presidency, often known as the Era of Good Feelings, was marked by a sense of national purpose and unity, and is notable for the Monroe Doctrine, a key foreign policy statement. The 1908 Summer Olympic Games were hosted by which European city? London. The 1908 Summer Olympics were originally scheduled for Rome but were relocated to London due to the eruption of Mount Vesuvius in 1906, which necessitated the redirection of funds. These games, held over 6 months, set a new standard for international sporting events and featured the first ever Parade of Nations. Who was the only US president not to live at the White House? George Washington. George Washington, the first President of the United States, never resided in the White House because it was still under construction during his presidency. The executive mansion was completed after he left office, and John Adams became the first president to live there in 1800. What was the first name of 19th-century British explorer Stanley, who searched for David Livingstone in Africa? Henry Morton Stanley was a Welsh-American journalist and explorer renowned for his expedition to Central Africa to locate David Livingstone. His famous meeting with Livingstone in Ujiji, Tanzania, in 1871, marked a significant moment in the history of African exploration. Who wrote the Athenian tragedy, Oedipus Rex? Sophocles. Sophocles was one of the 3 great ancient Greek tragedians whose works have endured through time. His play, Oedipus Rex, also known as Oedipus Tyrannus, is a seminal work of classical literature, celebrated for its profound exploration of themes like fate, free will, and human suffering. The Kotko is what type of animal? Cat. The Kotko, Leopardus guinea, is the smallest wild cat in the Americas, primarily found in central and southern Chile and parts of Argentina. This nocturnal and arboreal species is classified as vulnerable due to habitat loss and fragmentation. Mount Nanga Parbat is located in which country? Pakistan. Nanga Parbat, meaning naked mountain, is the 9th highest mountain in the world, standing at 8,126 meters, 26,660 feet above sea level. It is situated in the Dinga district of Gilgit-Baltistan, Pakistan, and is known for its immense vertical relief and challenging climbing conditions. Which British bank commenced trading on January 1, 1970? National Westminster Bank. National Westminster Bank, widely known as NatWest, was established through the merger of National Provincial Bank and Westminster Bank in 1968. It formally began its operations on January 1, 1970, and quickly became one of the dominant financial institutions in the United Kingdom. What was the first name of the 18th-century English cabinet maker and furniture designer Chippendale? Thomas Chippendale, 1718 to 1779, was a renowned English cabinet maker and furniture designer in the 18th century. His designs significantly influenced English furniture styles and are categorized into three main types: Gothic, Rococo, and Chinese. According to the World Health Organization, WHO, which country had the longest life expectancy in the world in 2011? Japan. In 2011, Japan recorded the highest life expectancy globally, reflecting its advanced healthcare system, healthy lifestyle, and diet. The WHO regularly compiles global health statistics, including life expectancy, as key indicators of public health and development. In March 2013, the RAF airlifted €1 million from the UK to which country as a contingency measure to provide military personnel with loans? Cyprus. The Royal Air Force, RAF, airlifted €1 million to Cyprus in March 2013 amidst a financial crisis that threatened to collapse the Cypriot banking system. This emergency measure ensured British military personnel stationed in Cyprus had access to cash due to severe restrictions on bank withdrawals. In January 2013, the London Underground rail system celebrated which significant anniversary? 150th. The London Underground, often called the Tube, celebrated its 150th anniversary in January 2013. The world's first underground railway, the Metropolitan Railway, opened on January 10, 1863, connecting Paddington and Farringdon Street. Which Greek goddess featured on the new €5 banknote in 2013? Europa. The new series of euro banknotes, starting with the €5 note in 2013, features a portrait of Europa, a figure from Greek mythology. This choice symbolizes Europe's cultural heritage and provides advanced security features to deter counterfeiting. Which French city was designated as the 2013 European Capital of Culture? Marseille. Marseille, a major port city in southern France, was designated the European Capital of Culture for 2013. This initiative by the European Union highlights the richness and diversity of European cultures and promotes urban regeneration through cultural programs. Which creature represented the year 2013 in the Chinese calendar? Snake. The Chinese calendar operates on a 12-year cycle, with each year associated with a specific animal zodiac sign. The year 2013 was the year of the snake, following the dragon and preceding the horse. In 2013, Japanese scientists cloned what type of creature from a single drop of blood? Mouse. Scientists at the Riken Bioresource Center in Japan successfully cloned a mouse using a single drop of blood from a tail tip. This advancement demonstrated the potential for cloning from non-invasively obtained samples, even without complete cells. What is written on the sign on the mural by graffiti artist Banksy that was cut out of a wall in Tottenham, London in July 2013? No ball games. Banksy is a pseudonymous street artist known for his satirical and politically charged murals. The mural in Tottenham, titled Slave Labor, depicted a child suing Union Jack Bunting and included a sign saying, "No ball games," highlighting issues of child labor and societal rules. In July 2013, the Archbishop of Canterbury said he was embarrassed and irritated that the Church of England invested indirectly in which online company? Wonga. The Church of England faced controversy for inadvertently investing in Wonga, a prominent payday lender. This caused embarrassment as Wonga was known for its high-interest loans, which conflicted with the Church's stance on ethical finance and its commitment to helping vulnerable populations. In August 2013, scientists in Florence, Italy opened a tomb in order to extract DNA, hoping to identify the model for which painting? Mona Lisa. Scientists opened the tomb of Lisa Gherardini, believed by many to be the model for Leonardo da Vinci's Mona Lisa. The aim was to extract DNA from her remains to potentially reconstruct her face and definitively identify her as the subject of the iconic painting. Heliphobia is the fear of which country and its culture? Greece. Heliphobia is an uncommon but recognized specific phobia characterized by an irrational and intense fear of Greece or Greek culture. Phobias are a type of anxiety disorder, and they are named using Greek roots for the object of fear. Who was the last UK Labour Prime Minister before Tony Blair? James Callaghan. James Callaghan served as the Labour Prime Minister of the United Kingdom from 1976 to 1979. His premiership was marked by significant economic challenges and industrial unrest, culminating in the Winter of Discontent, which contributed to his electoral defeat. A group of which birds is known as a tidings? Magpies. A group of magpies is often referred to by the collective noun, tidings, or sometimes, parliament, or grip. These specific collective nouns for animals are common general knowledge facts. Extinct volcano Halasan is the highest point in which Asian country? South Korea. Halasan is an extinct shield volcano and the highest mountain in South Korea, standing at 1,950 meters, 6,398 feet above sea level. It is located on Jeju Island, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site known for its volcanic landscapes. The 1992 Summer Olympic Games were hosted by which European city? Barcelona. The 1992 Summer Olympic Games were held in Barcelona, Spain, from July 25 to August 9. These games were particularly significant as they were the first since the end of the Cold War and featured a unified German team and participants from the former Soviet republics. Which British monarch founded the Order of Merit? King Edward VII. King Edward VII founded the Order of Merit in 1902. This honor is a personal gift of the sovereign and is awarded to individuals for distinguished service in the armed forces, science, art, literature, or for the promotion of culture. Who was the first female U.S. Attorney General? Janet Reno. Janet Reno served as the Attorney General of the United States from 1993 to 2001 under President Bill Clinton. She was the first woman to hold the position, making her a historic figure in American legal and political history. Who became Vice President of the USA in December 1973? Gerald Ford. Gerald Ford assumed the vice presidency following Spiro Agnew's resignation amidst a corruption scandal. He later became the 38th U.S. president after Richard Nixon's resignation, making him the only person to serve as both vice president and president without being elected to either office. What is the U.S. state capital of Oklahoma? Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City is the capital and most populous city of the U.S. state of Oklahoma. It is a major economic hub, known for its significant oil and natural gas industry, as well as its historical importance in the American West. In September 1990, Jeffrey Palmer resigned as Prime Minister of which country? New Zealand. Geoffrey Palmer served as the Prime Minister of New Zealand from August 1989 to September 1990. His premiership was significant for his commitment to legal and constitutional reform, including the New Zealand Bill of Rights Act. The Motherland Calls, which commemorates the Battle of Stalingrad, is a statue located in which Russian city? Volgograd. The Motherland Calls is an iconic statue commemorating the Battle of Stalingrad, a pivotal World War II engagement. Located in Volgograd, formerly Stalingrad, it is one of the tallest statues in the world and a powerful symbol of Soviet resistance. What type of creature is a bonxi? Bird. A bonxi is the common name for the great skua, a large, aggressive seabird known for its predatory behavior and powerful flight. These birds are found across the North Atlantic, including significant breeding colonies in the Northern Isles of Scotland. On which part of a giraffe's body are the ossicones situated? Head. Ossicones are bone-like, cartilaginous structures on the heads of giraffes and okapis, covered with skin and fur. Unlike true horns, ossicones are present from birth and are not shed, growing throughout the animal's life. The Oahe Dam is located in which U.S. state? South Dakota. The Oahe Dam is a large earth-filled dam on the Missouri River, located in South Dakota, USA. It is one of the largest dams in the world by volume and plays a crucial role in hydroelectric power generation, flood control, and irrigation for the region. In March 1977, India's Missionaries of Charity chose Sister Nirmala to succeed which prominent leader? Mother Teresa. In 1977, Sister Nirmala Joshi succeeded Nobel Peace Prize laureate Mother Teresa as the head of the Missionaries of Charity, an organization dedicated to serving the poor. Sister Nirmala led the Kolkata-based congregation until her resignation in 2009 due to ill health. Who served as the U.S. Secretary of State between 1997 and 2001? Madeleine Albright. Madeleine Albright served as the U.S. Secretary of State from 1997 to 2001 under President Bill Clinton, becoming the first woman to hold the position. She was a prominent figure in American foreign policy, advocating for democracy and human rights. How many provinces is Thailand divided into? 76. Thailand is administratively divided into 76 provinces, Chandwa, in addition to the special administrative area of Bangkok. Each province is further subdivided into districts, Ampho, forming the country's multi-tiered administrative structure. In which part of the human body is the sphenoid bone located? Skull, cranium. The sphenoid bone is an unpaired bone situated at the base of the skull, anterior to the temporal bone and basilar part of the occipital bone. It forms a critical part of the cranial floor, orbits, and nasal cavity, contributing to the structural integrity of the head. Which insect is notable for its ability to rotate its head almost 360 degrees? Praying mantis. The praying mantis possesses an exceptional ability to rotate its triangular head almost 360 degrees, allowing it to observe its surroundings without moving its body. This unique neck flexibility is crucial for its predatory hunting strategy, enabling it to detect prey and predators effectively. A searchingle is a type of belt or girth primarily used with which animal? Horse. A searchingle is a strap or band, typically made of webbing or leather, that passes around the body of a horse. It is primarily used to hold a saddle, blanket, or other equipment in place, especially during lunging or training without a rider. Bara, Bing, Lambert, and Tartarian are all varieties of which fruit? Cherry. These names refer to popular and distinct varieties of cherries, cultivated for their unique flavors, colors, and growing characteristics. Bing and Lambert, for instance, are well-known sweet cherry cultivars widely grown for commercial consumption. What is the height, in meters, of the London Eye? 135 meters. The London Eye, also known as the Millennium Wheel, is a prominent cantilevered observation wheel located on the south bank of the River Thames in London. Standing at 135 meters, 443 feet tall, it was the world's tallest Ferris wheel from its opening in 1999 until 2006 and remains a major tourist attraction. Mole Valley is in which English county? Surrey. Mole Valley is a local government district in Surrey, England, known for its scenic landscapes and the River Mole flowing through it. Surrey is a county in southeast England, known for its affluent towns and proximity to London, making it a significant geographical and administrative area. Dehabiliophobia is a strong aversion to doing what in front of other people? Undressing. Dehabiliophobia is characterized by an irrational and intense fear of undressing in front of others. This specific phobia can significantly impact an individual's social life and relationships, often leading to avoidance behaviors in situations like changing rooms or intimate settings. The martial art Vovinam originated in which country? Vietnam. Vovinam is the largest and most developed martial art in Vietnam, founded by Grandmaster Nguyen Loc in 1938. It incorporates a wide range of techniques, including kicks, hand strikes, elbow strikes, and grappling, emphasizing self-defense and mental discipline. Agnus Dei is a figure of which creature as an emblem of Christ? Lamb. Agnus Dei, Latin for Lamb of God, is a significant title for Jesus that appears in the Gospel of John. The lamb symbolizes Christ's sacrifice, purity, and his role as the shepherd of humanity, widely depicted in Christian art and liturgy. The rock musical, Rent, is based on which opera by Giacomo Puccini? Le Bohème. Jonathan Larson's Rent is a modern retelling of Giacomo Puccini's classic 1896 opera, Le Bohème, both exploring the lives of struggling artists and friends in bohemian settings. While Le Bohème is set in 19th century Paris, Rent reimagines the story in late 20th century New York City's East Village, addressing themes of poverty, AIDS, and artistic expression. U.S. comedian, singer and actress Fania Borach, born in October 1891, was better known by what name? Fanny Brice. Fanny Brice was a celebrated American comedian, singer, and actress who rose to fame in the early 20th century. A prominent star of the Ziegfeld Follies, her career spanned vaudeville, radio, and film, and she is remembered for her unique comedic style and signature songs. Her life was later dramatized in the musical and film, Funny Girl. Rosie, goosefoot and northern are all types of which marine creature? Starfish. Rosie, goosefoot, and northern are common names for various species of starfish, also known as sea stars. These marine invertebrates belong to the class Asteroidea and are characterized by their radial symmetry, typically 5 arms, and their ability to regenerate lost limbs. Messer is German for which item of cutlery? Knife. In German, Messer translates directly to knife, a fundamental vocabulary word for an everyday object. This term is an example of linguistic diversity, illustrating how basic concepts are expressed differently across languages. In 1862, English explorer John Hanning Speke discovered the source of the Nile in which lake? Lake Victoria. John Hanning Speke was a British explorer who, in 1858, became the first European to sight Lake Victoria, subsequently identifying it as the principal source of the Nile River. His expeditions played a crucial role in mapping the Great Lakes region of East Africa and resolving the long-standing mystery of the Nile's origin. Who was the president of Costa Rica between 2006 and 2010? Oscar Arias. Oscar Arias Sanchez served 2 non-consecutive terms as president of Costa Rica, from 1986 to 1990 and 2006 to 2010. He was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 1987 for his tireless efforts to achieve peace and stability in Central America during a period of intense regional conflict. What type of creature is a danio? Fish. Danios are a genus of small, tropical freshwater fish belonging to the minnow family, Cyprinidae, primarily found in South and Southeast Asia. The zebrafish, Danio ririo, is a particularly prominent species within this genus, widely used as a model organism in scientific research, especially in developmental biology and genetics. Blue Castello cheese is made in which country? Denmark. Blue Castello is a renowned type of Danish blue cheese, celebrated for its creamy texture and mild, buttery flavor with distinct blue veining. This artisanal cheese reflects Denmark's rich heritage in dairy production, known for its high-quality milk products. Former US President Jimmy Carter belonged to which political party? Democratic Party. Jimmy Carter, the 39th President of the United States, 1977 to 1981, was a member of the Democratic Party. Following his single term in office, he became a global humanitarian and advocate for human rights, democracy, and public health, earning the Nobel Peace Prize in 2002 for his post-presidential work. Saint Cyril had which script, alphabet named after him? Cyrillic. Saint Cyril, along with his brother Saint Methodius, is credited with creating the Glagolitic alphabet, which later evolved into the Cyrillic script. This script was pivotal in the Christianization of the Slavic peoples and is still used today for numerous languages, including Russian, Ukrainian, Bulgarian, and Serbian. The Royal Albert Hall in London is named after the consort of which monarch? Queen Victoria. The Royal Albert Hall, a prestigious concert hall in London, is named in memory of Prince Albert, the beloved consort of Queen Victoria. Inaugurated in 1871, it stands as a magnificent example of Victorian architecture and a major venue for arts, science, and public events. Which English county was represented by the 9 Children of Honor at the coronation of King Henry VIII? Cornwall. The coronation of King Henry VIII occurred on June 24, 1509, at Westminster Abbey. The representation of Cornwall by 9 Children of Honor underscores the historical and regional allegiances within the English kingdom during the Tudor era. In humans, daltonism is also known by what name? Color blindness. Daltonism is an antiquated term for color blindness, named after John Dalton, who provided the first scientific description of the condition in 1798. It is a visual deficiency where an individual has difficulty distinguishing between certain colors, most commonly red and green, due to genetic defects affecting the cone cells in the retina. In which English county is Secret Island, a former gunpowder mill, located? Essex. Secret Island, also known as Ossia Island, is situated in Essex, England. Historically, this island served as a significant gunpowder mill during the Napoleonic Wars. Today, it remains a private island recognized for its unique historical heritage and natural environment. What is the official color of the paint on the Golden Gate Bridge in California? International Orange. The Golden Gate Bridge, an iconic suspension bridge in San Francisco, California, is famously painted in a distinctive hue known as International Orange. This specific color was chosen not only for its aesthetic appeal but also to enhance the bridge visibility to passing ships and aircraft, especially in foggy conditions, and to complement the natural landscape. Blinker, fountain, rocket, and cake are all types of what? Fireworks. Blinker, fountain, rocket, and cake are all classifications of fireworks, each designed to produce distinct pyrotechnic effects. Blinker fireworks create intermittent flashes, fountains emit a spray of sparks upwards, rockets propel into the air before exploding, and cakes are multi-shot, self-contained units producing a sequence of effects. Who authored the 1870 novel, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea? Jules Verne. Jules Verne, a pioneering French novelist, poet, and playwright, is renowned for his adventure novels, including 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. This influential work, published in 1870, is considered a classic of adventure fiction and an early precursor to science fiction. Which Roman martyr, known for her vow of purity, is venerated as the patron saint of chastity? Saint Agnes. Saint Agnes is an early Roman virgin martyr venerated in the Catholic Church as the patron saint of chastity, gardeners, and virgins. Her martyrdom occurred during the Diocletianic persecution in the early 4th century, making her a significant figure in early Christian history. Algophobia is clinically defined as the persistent and irrational fear of what? Pain. Algophobia is a specific phobia characterized by an abnormal and persistent fear of pain, either physical or psychological. Individuals with algophobia may experience significant anxiety and avoidance behaviors in situations where they anticipate pain, severely impacting their daily lives. Craniates are a clade of chordate animals characterized by the presence of what anatomical feature? Skulls. Craniates, also known as craniata, are a major group of chordates that possess a skull, cranium, which encloses the brain. This defining characteristic distinguishes them from other chordates and includes vertebrates, as well as hagfish, signifying a key evolutionary advancement. What is the national animal of Tanzania? Giraffe. The giraffe, Giraffa camelopardalis, is recognized as the national animal of Tanzania. It is the tallest living terrestrial animal and is native to Africa, with significant populations found in Tanzanian national parks and reserves. Adi Granth is the principal sacred scripture of which religion? Sikhism. The Adi Granth is the holy scripture of Sikhism, compiled by Guru Arjan Dev, the fifth Sikh Guru. It is considered the living Guru by Sikhs and contains hymns and teachings of the Sikh Gurus and various saints. What is the state capital of West Virginia, USA? Charleston. Charleston is the capital and most populous city of the U.S. state of West Virginia. Situated at the confluence of the Elk and Kanawha rivers, it serves as the center for state government and various economic activities. What type of animal is a Dorucoli? Monkey. Dorucolis, also known as owl monkeys, are the only nocturnal monkeys in the world. Native to Central and South America, they belong to the genus Otis and are characterized by their large eyes, which aid their nocturnal vision. Which English monarch was colloquially known as Brandy Nan? Queen Anne. Queen Anne reigned as the last Stuart monarch of Great Britain from 1702 to 1714. She was occasionally given the nickname, Brandy Nan, by her political opponents, suggesting a supposed fondness for alcohol. Her reign is notable for the Acts of Union 1707, which formally unified the Kingdom of England and the Kingdom of Scotland into a single sovereign state, Great Britain. From which natural geological structure does a pyroclastic flow originate? Volcano. A pyroclastic flow is a rapid, devastating current of superheated gas and volcanic debris, tephra, that erupts from a volcano. These flows can reach extremely high temperatures and velocities, making them one of the most dangerous hazards associated with explosive volcanic eruptions. They are responsible for widespread destruction and loss of life in affected areas. In January 1986, U.S. politician Bill Nelson was aboard which space shuttle when he became the second sitting member of the United States Congress to fly in space? Columbia. Bill Nelson, a U.S. politician who later became NASA administrator, flew aboard the space shuttle Columbia in January 1986. His flight made him the second sitting member of the United States Congress to fly in space, highlighting the growing involvement of non-astronauts in space missions. In medicine, coprosthesophobia is the fear of what? Constipation. Coprosthesophobia is a specific phobia characterized by an irrational and intense fear of constipation. Phobias are a type of anxiety disorder, and they are typically linked to specific objects or situations that trigger excessive fear and avoidance. Who became the first socialist prime minister of Greece in 1981? Andreas Papandreou. Andreas Papandreou was a prominent Greek politician who served as prime minister of Greece for 2 terms, beginning in 1981. He founded the Panhellenic Socialist Movement, PASOK, and his ascent marked a significant shift towards socialist policies in Greek politics. What was the first name of former U.S. First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt? Anna. Eleanor Roosevelt, born Anna Eleanor Roosevelt, was an American political figure, diplomat, and activist. As the longest-serving First Lady of the United States from 1933 to 1945, she played a crucial role in shaping domestic and international policies and advocating for human rights. Lanex is the largest domestically owned manufacturer of consumer and professional electronics in which country? Mexico. Lanex is a significant technology company based in Mexico, specializing in the manufacture of various electronic devices. Its prominence reflects the growing domestic electronics industry and technological capabilities within Latin American countries, contributing to regional economic development. What type of animal is a lechwe? Antelope. A lechwe is a species of antelope native to the wetlands of south-central Africa. Known for its adaptation to marshy environments, it has specially elongated hooves that allow it to navigate soft ground and water more easily. What was the original state flower of the U.S. state Oklahoma? Mistletoe. Mistletoe, Phordendron serotinum, was designated as Oklahoma's territorial flower in 1893 and later confirmed as the state flower upon statehood in 1907. While the Oklahoma rose was adopted as the state flower in 2004, mistletoe holds significant historical recognition in the state's botanical heritage. The kladka, or chocolate mud cake, originated in which country? Sweden. Kladka is a traditional Swedish chocolate cake renowned for its dense, gooey center and crisp exterior. This popular dessert is typically prepared without baking powder, contributing to its characteristic texture, and is often served with whipped cream or fresh berries. Pelo is the Spanish word for which part of the body? Hair. Pelo is the Spanish term for hair, commonly referring to both head hair and body hair. Understanding basic vocabulary from widely spoken languages like Spanish can be a component of general knowledge in competitive examinations. In March 2013, an English Heritage Blue plaque was unveiled to commemorate which iconic design by Harry Beck on the 80th anniversary of its first public appearance? London Underground Map. Harry Beck's revolutionary design for the London Underground Map, first published in 1933, transformed public transport maps by prioritizing clarity and topological accuracy over geographical precision. This schematic diagram has profoundly influenced subway map design worldwide and is recognized as a landmark in information design. A fern is what type of weather condition? Wind. A fern, or fawn, is a warm, dry, downslope wind that occurs on the lee side of a mountain range. This meteorological phenomenon results from adiabatic warming as air descends, often leading to rapid temperature increases and snow melt in affected regions. What relation to Peter the Great of Russia was Catherine the First of Russia? Wife. Catherine I was the second wife of Peter the Great and Empress of Russia from 1725 to 1727, succeeding her husband. She played a significant role in Peter's life and campaigns, eventually becoming the first woman to rule Imperial Russia in her own right. Folgate, Grosso, Fathead, and Grappenhall are all varieties of which garden plant? Lavender. These names refer to specific cultivated varieties, cultivars, of lavender, a fragrant flowering plant widely grown for its essential oils, culinary uses, and ornamental value. Lavender species, such as Lavandula angustifolia and Lavandula ex intermedia, are prized for their distinctive aroma and beautiful purple blooms. In medicine, which lotion is traditionally used to alleviate the symptoms of chicken pox? Calamine lotion. Calamine lotion is an over-the-counter topical medication traditionally used to relieve the mild itching and skin irritation associated with chickenpox. Its active ingredients, primarily zinc oxide and ferric oxide, provide a soothing, protective effect and mild antiseptic properties. In the human body, what is a carotid? Artery. Carotid arteries are major blood vessels located on either side of the neck. They are responsible for supplying blood to the brain, face, and neck, playing a crucial role in the circulatory system. Mwai Kibaki became president of which African country in 2002? Kenya. Mwai Kibaki served as the third president of Kenya from 2002 to 2013. His presidency was marked by significant economic growth and infrastructure development, alongside political challenges including the disputed 2007 election. In 1960, which Belgian-born oceanographer and engineer made the first manned expedition to the Mariana Trench, the deepest place in the ocean? Jacques Paccard. Jacques Paccard, along with Don Walsh, achieved a historic feat in 1960 by descending into the Challenger Deep, the deepest known point of the Earth's seabed. This pioneering expedition in the bathyscaphe Trieste provided valuable insights into deep-sea environments. The towns of Lowestoft and Felixstowe are in which English county? Suffolk. Lowestoft is a coastal town in Suffolk, England, notable as the most easterly point of the United Kingdom. Felixstowe, also in Suffolk, is a major port town and home to the UK's busiest container port. The Northumberland Strait is in which country? Canada. The Northumberland Strait is a strait in the southern part of the Gulf of St. Lawrence in eastern Canada. It separates Prince Edward Island from the mainland provinces of New Brunswick and Nova Scotia. Tiradentes Day is celebrated in Brazil during which month of the year? April. Tiradentes Day is a national holiday in Brazil observed on April 21st Street. It commemorates Joaquim José da Silva Xavier, known as Tiradentes, a prominent figure in the Inconfidência Mineira, an 18th-century revolutionary movement for Brazilian independence. Former U.S. President John F. Kennedy belonged to which political party? Democratic Party. John F. Kennedy served as the 35th U.S. President from 1961 until his assassination in 1963. He was a prominent figure of the Democratic Party and his administration is remembered for key events like the Cuban Missile Crisis, the space race, and the establishment of the Peace Corps. Which Renaissance artist worked for Cesare Borgia, son of Pope Alexander VI, as a military architect and engineer? Leonardo da Vinci. Leonardo da Vinci, a polymath of the High Renaissance, served Cesare Borgia in 1502 as a military architect and engineer. During this period, Leonardo traveled with Borgia across Italy, designing fortifications and surveying towns, showcasing his diverse talents beyond art. From which country does the dessert cake known as Leamington originate? Australia. The Leamington is a popular Australian dessert, typically a square of sponge cake coated in a layer of chocolate sauce and desiccated coconut. It is often served in tea houses and cafes throughout Australia and New Zealand. Cardiophobia refers to the irrational fear of which human organ? Heart. Cardiophobia is a specific phobia characterized by an extreme, irrational fear of the heart or heart disease. Sufferers may constantly monitor their heartbeat or avoid activities they perceive as risky for heart health. Popocatépetl and El Chichón are prominent geographical features located in Mexico. What are they? Volcanoes. Popocatépetl is Mexico's second highest peak and one of its most active volcanoes, located near Mexico City. El Chichón is another active volcano in Chiapas, Mexico, known for its significant eruption in 1982. Which British monarch established the Most Honourable Order of the Bath? King George I. The Most Honourable Order of the Bath is a British order of chivalry founded by King George I on May 18, 1725. The name derives from the elaborate medieval ceremony for the appointment of a knight, which involved bathing as a symbol of purification. How do I love thee? Let me count the ways is the opening line of a work by which English poet? Elizabeth Barrett Browning. This famous line is from Sonnet 43 of Sonnets from the Portuguese by Elizabeth Barrett Browning. Written in the mid-19th century, this collection explores profound themes of love and devotion, making it a cornerstone of English romantic poetry. A slippery dick is what type of creature? Fish. A slippery dick, Halichoius bivittatus, is a species of wrasse fish found in the western Atlantic Ocean. It is known for its elongated body and ability to slip into sand or under rocks, a common adaptation for protection in many marine species. Which goddess was the wife of Roman god Vulcan? Venus. In Roman mythology, Venus, the goddess of love, beauty, desire, and fertility, was the wife of Vulcan, the god of fire, volcanoes, metalworking, and the forge. Their marriage, often depicted as a mismatch due to Vulcan's appearance and Venus's beauty, is a common theme in classical literature and art. Lawrence Boythorn and John Jarndyce are characters in which Charles Dickens novel? Bleak House. Lawrence Boythorn and John Jarndyce are prominent characters in Charles Dickens's novel, Bleak House, published serially between 1852 and 1853. The novel is a scathing critique of the English Chancery legal system and highlights themes of social injustice, poverty, and the devastating impact of prolonged litigation. Argentum is Latin for which chemical element? Silver. Argentum is the Latin word for silver, which is why the chemical symbol for silver is Ag. This name reflects the element's ancient recognition and its historical value, particularly in coinage and ornamentation, due to its lustrous appearance and malleability. The English city of Peterborough stands on which river? River Nene. Peterborough, a cathedral city in Cambridgeshire, England, is situated on the River Nene. The River Nene is the 10th longest river in the United Kingdom, flowing for approximately 100 miles, 160 kilometers, from its source in Northamptonshire to the Wash, an estuary on the east coast. Columbus is the capital of which U.S. state? Ohio. Columbus is the capital and most populous city of the U.S. state of Ohio. Located at the confluence of the Scioto and Olentangy rivers, it is a major hub for business, education, and culture in the Midwest, founded in 1812 and designated as the state capital in 1816. What is a military officer called who acts as an administrative assistant to a more senior officer? Adjutant. An adjutant is a military officer who serves as an administrative assistant to a senior commanding officer. This role involves managing daily schedules, correspondence, and general office duties, ensuring the efficient operation of the command. In which English city was Guy Fawkes, of gunpowder plot fame, born? York. Guy Fawkes, a central figure in the 1605 gunpowder plot, was born in York, England. The gunpowder plot was a failed assassination attempt against King James I by a group of English Catholics. What is the national animal of England? Lion, Barbary. The national animal of England is the lion, often specifically referred to as the Barbary lion. The lion has been a prominent symbol of England for centuries, appearing on the royal arms of England since the 12th century, symbolizing courage and strength. In November 1997, Mary McAleese was elected the 8th president of which European country? Ireland. Mary McAleese was elected the 8th president of Ireland in November 1997, serving 2 terms until 2011. She was the first woman from Northern Ireland to hold the office and the second female president of Ireland. During which month of the year does the ceremony of swan upping take place on the River Thames? July. Swan upping is an annual ceremony held in July on the River Thames, where mute swans are rounded up, counted, and marked. This tradition dates back to the 12th century, when the Crown claimed ownership of all mute swans in open waters. Allotherophobia is the irrational fear of what? Freedom. Allotherophobia refers to the irrational and often debilitating fear of freedom. Like other phobias, it can manifest with symptoms such as anxiety, panic attacks, and avoidance behaviors when confronted with situations perceived as too liberating or lacking structure. Black Amish is a variety of which fruit? Apple. Black Amish is a specific variety of apple known for its distinctive dark red to almost black skin color. This heirloom apple is often prized for its rich flavor, making it suitable for both fresh eating and culinary uses like baking. Which English city is known as Rainy City? Manchester. Manchester, a major city in England, is frequently referred to as the Rainy City due to its reputation for high rainfall. Its geographical location in northwest England, exposed to prevailing westerly winds and proximity to mountainous regions, contributes to its often damp climate. In July 1991, who became the new Archbishop of Canterbury? George Carey. George Carey served as the 103rd Archbishop of Canterbury from 1991 to 2002. As the spiritual leader of the Church of England and the symbolic head of the worldwide Anglican Communion, this is a significant historical and religious office. What is the minimum legal age a person can get married without parental consent in the U.S. state of Nebraska? 19 years. In Nebraska, the minimum legal age to marry without parental consent is 19 years, which is higher than the standard 18 years in most other U.S. states. This reflects specific state legislation regarding the age of majority and marital consent. The port of Fishguard is in which country of the UK? Wales. Fishguard is a coastal town and port located in Pembrokeshire, Wales, United Kingdom. It is well known for its ferry links to Rosslare Europort in Ireland, playing a significant role in trade and tourism between the two countries. The daughter-in-law of which British politician became the first woman Prime Minister of Denmark in 2011? Neil Kinnock. Helle Thorning-Schmidt, daughter-in-law of former British Labour Party leader Neil Kinnock, became Denmark's first female Prime Minister in 2011. This question tests knowledge of international political figures and their significant connections. Ribologists are collectors of what? Walking sticks. Ribology is the study and collection of walking sticks and canes. This niche hobby falls under the broader category of collecting, similar to philately, stamps, or numismatics, coins. Buerger's disease affects which part of the body? Kidneys. Buerger's disease, also known as IgA nephropathy, is a kidney disease that occurs when an antibody called immunoglobulin A, IgA, builds up in the kidneys. This accumulation causes inflammation and can lead to impaired kidney function or kidney failure over time. In which decade of the 1900s were women first admitted into the London Stock Exchange? 1970s, 1973. Women were first admitted to the London Stock Exchange in 1973, marking a significant step towards gender equality in the financial sector. This change reflected evolving societal norms and legal reforms aimed at dismantling barriers for women in professional environments. According to the Guinness Book of World Records, the village of Bernotai in which country is the geographic center of Europe? Lithuania. Bernotai, a village in Lithuania, is recognized by the Guinness Book of World Records as the geographic center of Europe. This designation is based on calculations defining the continent's extreme points, making it a notable reference point in European geography. In which city is the headquarters of the European Union? Brussels. Brussels, the capital of Belgium, serves as the de facto capital of the European Union. It hosts numerous key EU institutions, including the European Commission, the Council of the European Union, and a significant portion of the European Parliament. Which ocean borders the west of Europe? Atlantic Ocean. The Atlantic Ocean forms the western border of Europe, significantly influencing the continent's climate, trade routes, and historical exploration. It is the second largest ocean globally, separating Europe and Africa from the Americas. How many countries make up Europe? 48. The number of recognized countries in Europe is generally considered to be 48, though this figure can vary slightly based on different political and geographical definitions. This count typically includes all sovereign states within the conventional boundaries of the continent. What is the smallest country in Europe? Vatican, or Holy See. Vatican City, also known as the Holy See, is the smallest independent state in Europe and the world, both in terms of area and population. It is an enclave within Rome, Italy, serving as the spiritual and administrative headquarters of the Roman Catholic Church. What is the name of the checkpoint in Berlin which served as a symbol of the Iron Curtain? Checkpoint Charlie. Checkpoint Charlie was the best-known crossing point between East and West Berlin during the Cold War. It became a powerful symbol of the Iron Curtain, representing the stark division between the Communist Eastern Bloc and the Capitalist Western Bloc. Which year saw the dissolution of the Soviet Union? 1991. The Soviet Union officially dissolved on December 26, 1991, following a series of critical events including the declaration of Alma-Ata. This landmark event marked the end of the Cold War and led to the emergence of several independent states from the former Soviet republics. Which country is bordered by Belarus in the north and Moldova in the south? Ukraine. Ukraine is a large country in Eastern Europe, sharing borders with Belarus to its north and Moldova to its southwest. Its strategic location makes it a key subject in studies of European geography and international relations. The 1957 Treaty of Rome established which organization? European Economic Community, EEC. The Treaty of Rome, signed on March 25, 1957, by 6 European countries, established the European Economic Community, EEC. This treaty was a foundational step in European integration, aiming to create a common market among member states. What is the second longest mountain range in Europe? The Carpathian Mountains. The Carpathian Mountains form the second longest mountain range in Europe, extending approximately 1,500 kilometers across Central and Eastern Europe. They are crucial for the region's ecology, hydrology, and cultural landscapes, second only to the Alps in length. In which European country did the Industrial Revolution begin in the 18th century? United Kingdom. The Industrial Revolution, a transformative period marked by widespread mechanization and factory systems, commenced in Great Britain during the late 18th century. This era fundamentally reshaped global economies, societies, and technological progress. What is the smallest capital city in the European Union? Valletta, Malta. Valletta, the capital city of Malta, holds the distinction of being the smallest capital city within the European Union. This historic city is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, recognized for its Baroque architecture and rich cultural heritage. Ned Madral, who died in 1974, was the last surviving native speaker of which European language? Manx, or Manx Gaelic. Ned Madral was the last known native speaker of Manx, a Celtic language indigenous to the Isle of Man, who passed away in 1974. Although his death marked a critical point, dedicated revitalization efforts have since led to a modest resurgence in Manx speakers. Wizz Air is a low-cost airline with headquarters in which European country? Hungary. Wizz Air is a well-known Hungarian low-cost airline headquartered in Budapest, Hungary. It is a major player in the European aviation market, primarily serving destinations across Central and Eastern Europe. What is the German word for blackberry? Brombeere. Brombeere is the German term for the blackberry fruit. Knowledge of common words in foreign languages can appear in general awareness sections of competitive exams. A group of which birds is known as a watch? Nightingales. The collective noun for a group of nightingales is a watch. Nightingales are passerine birds known for their powerful and beautiful song, particularly during the breeding season. The Heidelberg School was a 19th-century Impressionist art movement in which country? Australia. The Heidelberg School was a significant Australian art movement of the late 19th century, known for its impressionistic plein air landscapes. Artists such as Tom Roberts and Arthur Streeton aimed to capture the unique light and atmosphere of the Australian bush. A chiliad is a term for which number? 1000. A chiliad refers to a period of 1000 years or, more generally, the number 1000. The term is derived from the ancient Greek word, chilioi, meaning 1,000. Great Slave Lake is located in which country? Canada. Great Slave Lake is the second largest lake entirely within Canada and the deepest lake in North America, reaching depths of over 600 meters. It is located in the Northwest Territories and is a major geographic feature. In food, numbers 110 to 119 are associated with which color? Orange. Numbers are codes for food additives approved for use in the European Union. Numbers in the 110 to 119 range primarily denote artificial orange food colorings, such as E110, sunset yellow FCF. What anatomical feature must an insect develop to become an imago? Wings. In the life cycle of insects undergoing complete metamorphosis, an imago is the adult stage. The development of functional wings is a defining characteristic of the imago, crucial for reproduction and dispersal. Which Cornish castle is traditionally associated with the conception of the legendary King Arthur? Tintagel Castle. Tintagel Castle, situated on the rugged coast of Cornwall, England, is famously linked to the legend of King Arthur. Medieval texts, notably Geoffrey of Monmouth's Historia Regum Britanniae, claim it is the place where Arthur was conceived. Nashville is the state capital of which U.S. state? Tennessee. Nashville serves as the capital city of Tennessee, a state located in the southeastern United States. It is renowned globally as a major hub for country music and is also a significant center for the healthcare, publishing, and transportation industries. The opera cake, a dessert made with layers of almond sponge cake soaked in coffee syrup, originated in which country? France. The opera cake is an iconic French dessert, celebrated for its intricate layers of almond sponge, known as Giconde, coffee syrup, coffee buttercream, and a rich chocolate ganache. Its creation is generally credited to the French patisserie d'Aloyau, with its origins dating back to the mid-20th century. What was the middle name of British Prime Minister William Gladstone? Ewart. William Ewart Gladstone was a towering figure in British politics, serving as Prime Minister 4 times between 1868 and 1894. A leading member of the Liberal Party, he was known for his extensive reforms and influential policies during the Victorian era. In mobile phone use, what is app short for? Application. An app is a software application designed to run on a mobile device such as a smartphone or tablet computer. Mobile applications are fundamental to modern digital interaction, offering a wide range of functionalities from communication to productivity and entertainment. Which British city is known as the City of Arcades? Cardiff. Cardiff, the capital city of Wales, is renowned as the City of Arcades due to its impressive collection of Victorian and Edwardian shopping arcades. These historic covered passageways are home to numerous independent shops and businesses, reflecting the city's unique architectural and retail heritage. In cooking, what is the term for briefly plunging vegetables into boiling water and then immediately transferring them to cold or ice water? Blanching. Blanching is a culinary technique that involves briefly scalding food, typically vegetables, in boiling water before plunging them into ice water to stop the cooking process. This method helps to preserve color, texture, and nutrients, and can also loosen skins for easier peeling. Which day of the week is considered unlucky on the 13th of the month in many Spanish-speaking countries? Tuesday. In many Spanish-speaking countries, Tuesday the 13th, Martes 13, is considered an unlucky day, similar to Friday the 13th in English-speaking cultures. This superstition has roots in ancient beliefs and folklore associated with Tuesday. What is the irrational fear known as dementophobia? Insanity. Dementophobia is clinically defined as an intense, irrational fear of becoming insane or losing one's mind. It is a specific phobia that can significantly impact an individual's mental well-being and daily life. What was the nickname of the legendary 17th century English highwaywoman Catherine Ferris? The Wicked Lady. Catherine Ferris was a historical English figure from the 17th century, famously known by her nickname, the Wicked Lady. She is believed to have led a double life as an aristocrat by day and a highwaywoman by night, a story that has been romanticized in literature and film. Which English county is colloquially known as God's own county? Yorkshire. Yorkshire is a large historic county in northern England, renowned for its diverse landscapes, rich history, and distinct cultural identity. Its nickname, God's Own County, reflects the strong regional pride and admiration for its natural beauty and heritage. What is the characteristic color of powdered sulfur? Yellow. Sulfur is a non-metallic chemical element with the symbol S and atomic number 16. In its most common allotropic forms, such as rhombic and monoclinic sulfur, it is a bright yellow crystalline solid, which retains its color when powdered. Tobermory is the capital of which Scottish island? Isle of Mull. Tobermory is the main town and former burgh on the Isle of Mull in the Inner Hebrides of Scotland. It is renowned for its colourful waterfront houses and is a popular tourist destination. In William Shakespeare's play, Hamlet, the skull of which character is famously held by Hamlet? Yorick. The scene where Hamlet contemplates a skull, identified as that of Yorick, a former court jester, is an iconic moment in literature. It serves as a powerful meditation on mortality, the ephemeral nature of human existence, and the ultimate equality of all in death. The residents of which German town stage a world-famous passion play every 10 years? Oberammergau. The Oberammergau Passion Play is a renowned dramatic performance depicting the Passion of Christ, performed by the villagers of Oberammergau, Germany. Its origins trace back to a vow made in 1633 to God during the 30 Years' War, to spare them from the Black Death. The Pomegranate Theatre is located in which English town? Chesterfield. The Pomegranate Theatre is a historic Victorian theatre situated in Chesterfield, Derbyshire, England. It serves as a significant cultural venue in the town, hosting a diverse range of performances including drama, comedy, music, and pantomimes. Which Irish playwright was a co-founder of the London School of Economics? George Bernard Shaw. George Bernard Shaw, a celebrated Irish playwright and socialist, was instrumental in the establishment of the London School of Economics and Political Science, LSE, in 1895. This demonstrates his commitment to intellectual and social reform beyond his literary achievements. In Samuel Beckett's 1950s play, Whom Are Vladimir and Estragon Waiting For? Godot. Vladimir and Estragon are the central characters in Samuel Beckett's seminal play, Waiting for Godot, a hallmark of the theatre of the absurd. The play, first performed in 1953, explores existential themes and the human condition through the characters' perpetual and ultimately fruitless wait for the enigmatic figure Godot. A decennial event occurs every how many years? 10. The term, decennial, is derived from the Latin, decem, meaning 10, and annus, meaning year. It is commonly used to describe events that occur or are celebrated every 10 years, such as a decennial census. A group of which birds is known as an unkindness? Ravens. The term, unkindness, is a specific collective noun used for a group of ravens. Collective nouns like this are part of English language general knowledge, often reflecting historical observations or characteristics associated with the animal. In which month in 1990 was Nelson Mandela released from prison in South Africa? February. Nelson Mandela was released from Victor Verster prison on February 11, 1990, after 27 years of incarceration. His release was a pivotal moment in the dismantling of apartheid and the transition to a multiracial democracy in South Africa. Which is the third planet from the Sun? Earth. Earth is the third planet from the Sun, positioned between Venus and Mars. It is the only known celestial body to harbor life, characterized by its unique atmosphere, liquid water, and diverse ecosystems. Photographer Ansel Adams was renowned for his photographs of what? Landscapes. Ansel Adams, 1902 to 1984, was an American photographer famous for his stunning black and white landscape photographs of the American West, particularly Yosemite National Park. He was also a prominent environmentalist and a pioneer of the zone system, a photographic technique for precise tonal control. What is the southernmost capital city globally? Wellington. Wellington, the capital of New Zealand, holds the unique distinction of being the world's southernmost capital city. Located at the southwestern tip of the North Island, it is nestled between hills and a picturesque harbour, known for its vibrant art scene and windy climate. General Benedict Arnold defected to the British side during which conflict? American War of Independence. Benedict Arnold was an American military officer who served during the American Revolutionary War. He is widely remembered as a traitor for his defection to the British side in 1780, where he plotted to surrender the American fort at West Point. His name has become synonymous with treason in the United States. Who was the longest-serving leader of the opposition in British political history? Neil Kinnock. Neil Kinnock served as the leader of the Labour Party and leader of the opposition from 1983 to 1992. His tenure of 9 years makes him the longest-serving individual in this role in British political history. Which US Apollo astronaut died on the 25th of August 2012? Neil Armstrong. Neil Armstrong was an American astronaut and the first person to walk on the moon, achieving this historic feat on July 20, 1969, during the Apollo 11 mission. His death in 2012 marked the passing of a global icon in space exploration. What is the name of the UK investment banking company which collapsed after broker Nick Leeson lost $1.3 billion on the Tokyo Stock Exchange in 1995? Barings Bank. Barings Bank, one of Britain's oldest merchant banks, collapsed in 1995 due to massive losses incurred by a single trader, Nick Leeson, in derivatives trading on the Tokyo Stock Exchange. This event highlighted significant regulatory failures and the risks associated with unchecked financial speculation. The adrenal glands are situated above which organs in the human body? Kidneys. The adrenal glands are endocrine glands that produce a variety of hormones, including adrenaline and cortisol. They are strategically located superior to the kidneys, playing a vital role in stress response and various metabolic functions. What was the first name of British Prime Minister Gladstone? William Ewart Gladstone was a prominent British statesman who served as Prime Minister 4 times between 1868 and 1894. A key figure of the Liberal Party, he was known for his fiscal policy and reforms. Which British coastal town is known as the Pearl of Dorset? Lyme Regis. Lyme Regis is a historic coastal town in Dorset, England, renowned for its beautiful harbour, called the Cobb, and its paleontological significance as part of the Jurassic Coast. It is a popular tourist destination and a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Marworth is the Welsh word for which month of the year? March. The Welsh word, Marworth, translates to March in English. This term is derived from Mars, the Roman god of war, reflecting a common etymological root for the month's name across several European languages. Who was the only British Chancellor of the Exchequer not to deliver a budget? Ian MacLeod. Ian MacLeod served as Chancellor of the Exchequer in 1970 under Prime Minister Edward Heath but died shortly after taking office. His unexpected death prevented him from delivering a budget, making him the only Chancellor not to do so. Runnymede, where the Magna Carta was said to have been sealed by King John, is located in which English county? Surrey. Runnymede is a meadow by the River Thames in Surrey, England, famous as the site where King John sealed the Magna Carta on June 15, 1215. This historic document is a foundational text in constitutional law, establishing the principle that everyone, including the monarch, is subject to the law. In astronomy, pulsar, binary, dwarf, and red giant are all types of what celestial object? Star. Pulsar, binary, dwarf, and red giant are all classifications referring to different types or evolutionary stages of stars. Stars are fundamental celestial objects that generate light and heat through nuclear fusion, playing a crucial role in the universe's structure and evolution. A bloater is which type of fish, salted, smoked, and partially dried? Herring. A bloater is a type of whole herring that has been salted, smoked, and partially dried, retaining its internal organs. This traditional method of preservation gives the fish a distinct flavor and texture, popular in certain culinary traditions. Which Scottish city is known as the capital of the Highlands? Inverness. Inverness, located in the Scottish Highlands, is commonly referred to as the capital of the Highlands due to its status as the region's largest city and administrative centre. It serves as a cultural, commercial, and tourism hub for northern Scotland. In November 1990, Mary Robinson defeated Brian Lenihan to become the first female president of which country? Ireland. Mary Robinson's election as President of Ireland in 1990 was a landmark event, making her the first woman to hold the office. She served from 1990 to 1997, becoming a prominent international figure for human rights advocacy before her appointment as UN High Commissioner for Human Rights. What is the name of the trust, founded in 1986, which specializes in the removal of the debris of war, such as landmines? The Halo Trust. The Halo Trust is a British-American non-governmental organization specializing in humanitarian landmine clearance and the removal of explosive remnants of war. Founded in 1988, it operates in many post-conflict zones globally, making areas safe for communities to rebuild and recover. According to the Bible, which part of Goliath's body did David cut off? Head. The biblical story of David and Goliath, found in the book of Samuel, describes the young shepherd David's victory over the Philistine giant Goliath. After felling Goliath with a stone from his sling, David then used Goliath's own sword to cut off his head. Alexandra of Denmark was the wife of which British monarch? King Edward VII. Alexandra of Denmark married Edward VII, then Prince of Wales, in 1863, and became Queen Consort upon his ascension to the throne in 1901. She was a popular and influential figure, known for her charitable work and significant impact on British fashion and society. What is the name of the oblong metal ring with a spring clip, used in mountaineering to attach a running rope to a piton or similar device? Carabiner. A carabiner is an essential piece of climbing and mountaineering equipment, consisting of an oblong metal ring with a spring-loaded gate. It is used to quickly and securely connect various components of a climbing system, such as ropes, anchors, and harnesses, ensuring safety and efficiency. During which year did a man last walk on the moon? 1972. The last time humans walked on the moon was in December 1972 during NASA's Apollo 17 mission. Astronauts Eugene Cernan and Harrison Schmitt were the final two individuals to explore the lunar surface, marking the conclusion of the Apollo program's manned lunar landings. What is the Hebrew meaning of Boker Tov? Good morning. Boker Tov is a common Hebrew greeting that directly translates to good morning. It is widely used in Israel and by Jewish communities globally as a standard salutation. Which is the largest island of England? Isle of Wight. The Isle of Wight is the largest and second most populous island in England, located just off the south coast, separated by the Solent. It is renowned for its diverse geology, distinctive wildlife, and as a popular holiday destination. Which English dramatist authored The Relapse, or Virtue in Danger, in 1696? Sir John Vanbrugh. Sir John Vanbrugh was an eminent English Baroque architect and dramatist of the Restoration period. His play, The Relapse, or Virtue in Danger, first performed in 1696, is a significant comedy of manners that satirized contemporary social morals and conventions. Dr. Tom Parry Jones, who passed away in January 2013, developed and marketed which road safety device in 1967? Electronic breathalyzer. Dr. Tom Parry Jones, a Welsh scientist, is credited with developing and commercializing the first electronic breathalyzer in 1967. This invention revolutionized road safety by providing law enforcement with an effective tool to measure alcohol levels in drivers, thereby reducing drink driving incidents. Basildon and Harlow are towns situated in which English county? Essex. Basildon and Harlow are prominent towns located within the county of Essex, in the southeast of England. Essex is situated northeast of London and is known for its blend of urban development and rural landscapes. Satis is the name of the house featured in which Charles Dickens novel? Great Expectations. Satis House is a pivotal, decaying mansion in Charles Dickens's classic novel, Great Expectations. It serves as the eccentric abode of Miss Havisham, whose life, halted on her wedding day, profoundly influences the novel's protagonist, Pip. The first inauguration of which U.S. president took place aboard a plane? Lyndon B. Johnson. Lyndon B. Johnson was sworn in as the 36th U.S. president aboard Air Force One on November 22, 1963, following the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. This unprecedented event marked a somber but critical moment of continuity in American presidential history. In Norse mythology, who is known as the trickster god? Loki. Loki is a central and complex figure in Norse mythology, frequently identified as the trickster god. Known for his cunning, shape-shifting abilities, and ambiguous morality, he often causes mischief for both gods and mortals. Susanna Hall was the eldest daughter of which English playwright? William Shakespeare. Susanna Hall was the eldest daughter of the celebrated English playwright and poet William Shakespeare and his wife, Anne Hathaway. Her marriage to the respected physician Dr. John Hall provides valuable historical context about Shakespeare's family life and social standing during the Elizabethan era.